Hi, Alexei, and thanks for joining us. I guess that your recruiter will not join us in this meet, right?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, we can start, and then if she will join, welcome. Okay. So thanks for meeting with us and having this opportunity. So my name is Goran. I'm principal engineer at Global. Here we have Angelina. Okay. Yes, we have Maciej, who is a tech lead in the. Yeah, and I'm proposing to give you a few details about what Global is, how we work, who we are, and so on. In case you, then we can spend some time to discuss some points in your CV and just have some technical chat. And we will have one coding exercise that we can do together. This will leave us some maybe 5 to 10 minutes at the end for questions. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what we do in Global, we provide a range of tools and services for individual merchants that have their own websites, selling online using stores built on Shopify, BigCommerce, Magento, and like any other platform. And we allow them to grow their cross-border trade, so to sell more internationally. We have a solution that will allow them to get new international visitors by advertising internationally. So we take their ad portfolio and then we localize this ad portfolio. Then for this localized ad, we have a very unique product offering that is creating an exact replica of their websites, but everything is localized to the target language and country. So that this website, and then what we provide next, we provide our own localized checkout experience, which is the subject of this position. Where we add some local shipping methods, some local payment methods. We allow buyer to buy in local currency to international destination. And then moving on, we provide some services for the merchant to allow them to ship from their own US or UK warehouses to ship those items internationally. Solutions to handle returns, and we have some services for tax and duty, import and export tax and duty calculation that we also use. So we have been developing this for like maybe the first part was like 10 years old, and then like we have a proven product that we are offering for the past 4 years. Recently, like maybe a year ago, the Global become like independently as a spin-off of a larger company. We got some nice investments, and like now we want to meet the next frontier. So we have in Global, we have about 22 engineers right now, 23 engineers divided in 5 different teams. So this gets you the average team size. Specifically, the checkout and payments team that I will spend some time talking about is currently 2 engineers only. Then the team is having also the product. We are now looking for some extra help in this team. Okay, so the main responsibility of the team is to provide this hosted standalone checkout experience, allowing buyers to complete their purchase, selecting the payment method, entering like the shipping address, picking the shipping method, like the usual checkout experience. The team is also handling everything around payment and order processing, so there is some asynchronous processing that is happening. Technology is Python with some front end, and for asynchronous processing we use RabbitMQ, and like we have like a lot of Python code for that. The platform is built on AWS cloud services, so we use Lambda, we are using SQS, we are using SNS, S3, and so on. and then also the team is responsible, this small but like very expert seasoned team is also responsible for some internal tools and processes, including everything about onboarding new merchants to our platform. So like the specific about the team is that they have a huge area that the team is maintaining, but then daily the main focus is on checkout experience and processing orders and payments. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions so far? Maybe something that picks you up.
Yeah. Not a lot of questions. First of all, as I understand, you have a 10-year code base, so 10-year-old code base, correct? Like, or
so the company is offering the service for 10 years. It's not that we are not doing any refactoring. Like components are 4 years or younger than that, like 4 to 5. That we are using right now. We use a lot of serverless. In this team, we use a lot of serverless and Lambda. We use some Cloudflare workers, which is like very recent ones. The Python code base, large part of it is Python 3. Some part of it is still Python 2. But think like our test environment is on Kubernetes and like so on.
So usually, so you have microservices and usually using like Flask, yeah?
We use Pyramid, but we do have some apps that are on Flask, and then we have some apps that are like just WSG, so like no specific framework, and then those Lambda functions are integrating with API Gateway.
So my recent experience, I was a cloud developer and I worked fully with AWS. So as I understand, Lambdas, API Gateway, and are you using stem functions?
We don't. We have some workflows, but we are using RabbitMQ, and then like we are managing the state in the database and just invoking different workers. So not invoking Lambda with the RabbitMQ pipeline.
Okay. So nice tech, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of code, a lot of services. I think that it's like between 10 and 20. Some time ago I lost the count. But like things are very, very neatly organized, and like the team is having like this and then everything else is deploy and forget because it just runs. So. Okay, From your CV, I see a very nice combination that you have like a set of back-end technologies and then also focus on the front end. So what was your recent working experience? Are you working in some team? Are you working as single a single developer, like in thing, or what can you tell me about?
I had moments in my career when I worked as freelancer, like with own clients, but it's not very good times because of work and very not good place to work. But usually I'm working inside the teams, inside the companies. So, for example, my latest experience, as I said earlier, it was cloud developer position, and we worked with the latest project. Shortly, it was genomic storage. It's storage of genome exomes and other genomic data. It's based on S3 and Glacier because cost, and the main purpose of the storage is helping the laboratories and other customers work with big genome data to make researches for next generation medicine. It's when we're not using like medicine because drugs or something like this. We changing the human genome, DNA, and helping to fight with, for example, HIV, cancer. So not this is like this. So stack was pretty similar to your one. So it's lambdas connected with API gateway and step functions for big flow, because also it's not storing of genomes, it's processing, sequencing, quality check, a lot of pipelines for that data. Also a lot of work with ECS containers and SNS for the task queries. It's AVS SQS, query queue, and also there is work with DynamoDB. It's work with metadata, so it's not was stored on DynamoDB, it was stored S3, because it's also metadata is JSON, but it's also pretty big data, because when you have a lot of genomes, you also have a lot of records. So it was stored on S3 and queried by Athena. Athena not very very good database, and it's more like analytics and but
so like I don't have personal experience with Athena, but it is reminding me of Hadoop a bit.
It's built on Hadoop or not Hadoop, Redshift, and very difficult DDL language, and you not put quotes on some place. Okay, it's not valid. Everything breaks and blows. So but very cheap, like very big data on S3, and it's scanning of the data, and it's very cheap. So that's why it was used, not DynamoDB, because DynamoDB is not a very powerful one, and cost will grow if you use it. So it was cheap solution. So it's about my project. Like in my team, it was 6 members, 1 front-end, 1 QA, 1 DevOps, and 3 Python developers.
Okay. And some of your front-end experience, it is like from a few years ago, right?
Well, I have an own project when I'm working with Angular, so on TypeScript. I worked mostly with Angular, and I could start the project from zero on Angular. But if you're talking about React.js, I'm not very good with this one, but have enough skills on Vue.js. So I know JavaScript, but it's not my main specialty. So I'm full stack, but more attention to backend and Python.
Okay, but like so like the team being very small, like both engineers that we have in this team are handling like not afraid of like Flexbox and CSS. So like the position will be like some kind of like a generalist one here. Okay. Can you tell me for example what options in AWS like we may have to connect, like if we want to deploy like a single page application and we want to deploy some front end, and then we could want to connect it to some APIs. What kind of options in AWS we have? Like how we can approach this?
The simplest way is using Amplify. As I understand, it's a new service on AWS, maybe because I see an advertisement from Amazon. So it's possible to do Amplify, but the most usual way that I will use it's CloudFront for connected with S3 bucket to serve the static, if we talk about the front end. And API gateway, if you have, for example, Django Flex application monolith, so okay, you could use ECS2 instance to run it. It's very simple. And if you want to have an API gateway, lambdas or something inside the amplify. So it's the two, I think, the most usual options that we could use.
Okay, and what are some of the features in the API gateway to connect? Like let's say that we have an existing API, but it is not publicly available, so it is EC2 instance. Is it like how can we expose it to the front end?
Exposing EC2 instance to front end. Well, didn't work with API gateway and EC2 instance, because usually EC2 instance exposing everything by other. Like usually I'm working with Route 53, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
any role of the load balancer there maybe?
Yeah, load balancing. Like we have three types of load balancing. It's classical, and that you talk about, yeah. Because we have other load balancers that connected to the EC2 service, so like part of EC2 service. And it's more like balancing between the exactly the instances. Like yeah, we could use the load balancing and but didn't use it.
Okay. So can you tell me what is the difference between stateless and stateful web service?
Stateless and stateful. Like one minute. Like it's more connected with client side. Like where on stateful, when we say storing the state on client, and it's generated some data which we used for different systems, and when we didn't have that state on client side, we could call this stateless. So
yeah, so usually it is kind of reverse. For example, if there is a web service that is not on the server side, it is not persisting any state information. So it is client that is always like either repeating, or maybe the client is keeping all the state. Then we say that it is a stateless, like, so we can shift the request from one instance to another, we can replace the service, like we can restart everything, like there is no state connected with the service. While if we have a stateful service, then like maybe it is storing something in like a file on a local system, or like it is storing some session in a way that it is making it stateful, and then we need to like be a bit more careful.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like we have a state which stored on local side or client side, so it's making us stateful.
Okay. So working with databases, because you were working with RDS, work with databases. What is generally the role of
what the purpose of having indexes? Yes, indexation.
Yes.
Well, it's very easy. Like in simple words, indexes helping, giving us ability to use binary search, like inside the table. So it's the basic algorithm which use in SQL table. So yeah, we have performance issues. It's very good for select, but not very good for create or for example, for create, yeah, because reindexation and other things. But using of binary search, it's the most general purpose of using index inside SQL.
And do we need to be picky about like what dimension or like what column we are adding index on, or can we just like throw it randomly?
Yes.
What is generally your approach in optimizing performance with indexes? So you have some database schema, and then like client is complaining that like all the queries are slow. So what would be your approach here?
Well, a little bit confused this question. Like first question was which way, how I will optimize, for example, the request or query, yeah, like which works slow, like the basic question. Well, first of all, I think not touching the indexes topic, we could see the text of the query, and if you go to this SQL, you could see like what is wrong. So it's like the basic way, first look up on that query, so you could fix it if not okay. As next step, it's using explain, analyze, yeah, and checking like speed, making the basic debug. And if it's not helps, using indexation, like it's not more connected. We're talking about BigQuery, not using indexation. I think if indexation not helped yet, yeah, so move to the scaling. It's databases, master slave, the basic way.
Okay, great. Cool. So let's move to this second part of the interview. So I can share one already started project with you that is having Flask app as the backend and some React as the front end. Now, if you have a working environment and you want to use your tools for that, I can send you the zip file, and then if you don't mind, you can share your screen, and then we can work on it together. If you don't have your local environment set, we can set up one on the REPL IT, but that would be a bit slower. Like, I don't know what would be your preference.
Okay, you can send me a zip. I'm from.
Okay,
yeah.
so the chat that you can follow, and then once you open it up and like open your editor IT voice, you can share the screen, and then we can go through it together.
And Jirok.io, so it's run from.
Yeah, like locally.
So you want me to run in Jirok because?
No. I want you to download the zip file.
Link not working.
No?
No. Like can be reached, can be found.
That's weird because it's working for me. Maciej, can you please check?
Yes, it is working for me as well.
Like you just clicking and it runs, or other actions is required.
No. So you just click and download the zip file. Like that is.
This site can be reached.
Can you maybe try to share the screen? Like, do you have some VPN preventing access to Angro.io?
No. Well, I have an Jirok, maybe.
You don't have to run it. Like, but like maybe your internet provider connect to this.
How to share screen?
So you have present now button. And then you can select either a whole desktop or a screen or a
like
window.
Additional actions or showing.
So you can you click present now, and then there is like your entire screen.
I see. Okay, not working.
Okay, so there is no this domain. So it appears that we found like not on this position, but like a few weeks ago we had a candidate, and she was required to use some VPN to access it. I don't know
Well,
if your internet is like open.
VPN off, like I'm not using VPN, the basic. Maybe you can send me from other place, like Google Docs.
Yeah, use some API then, so it will not work. Okay, let me think. No, I cannot. Huh. So it appears that your internet provider is not allowing you to access those websites. But I don't know, like, if you can how pass this.
I also don't know. Like, you know, in G-Rocket thing runs on local, exposing your local.
Yeah, and then everybody else can access this file.
Yeah, including me.
Yes.
Well, okay, I just need to download project zip, so maybe if it's not confidential, you could, I don't know, maybe on Skype download it, or on the chat, as I understand it's not possible to.
Give me a second. Can you try to follow this link instead?
Yes, download it.
Okay. Okay, so the first task, like, so there is a React app, there is a package JSON specifying how it, and then there is a simple Flask app in app.py, and you will need to set like options. So the first step, let's try to on your machine.
Let's try. Okay.
You can see some instructions in the README.
We need a virtual and yeah.
If you are not sure, you can just follow the what is written in the README.
No, I'm sure. Okay, something wrong. When like this, activate. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, and Flask run.
Okay, and then we can set up the front end, and then we can, assuming that the back end is not running.
Yarn npm install, yes. First of all.
Yeah, so here it is using Yarn, but npm will work as well. Modern replacement. It is better with caching locally, so it is not downloaded.
Yarn requires downloading from npm.
No. It is still doing like regular, but it will create one. It will create cache, like for example, Maven for Java. So it will create, and then like if you install it for one project, it can be reused for another, and like it is a bit faster. But like anyway, npm will work.
I don't have yarn.
Yeah, npm will work.
Okay, it will take a time, you know. Okay.
Spend time to review maybe the code, or the front end. Tell us like what you see.
Component. Happen.
Actually.
Initially, yeah. Shop, yeah. Public. And
this external service, but we will have to improvise a bit. So there will be a screen with a and then what we want to there is a button on the on the request. There will be a request, and then inside this Flask endpoint, and the task was to send it. You will not able to do that. So the content of the and then to return a confirmation number, and like the confirmation number can be hard coded, like let's say 42. It's kind of a mock of a service that is like processing the received order. So we want to print it in a specific format. The front end is sending. What we want to print a dictionary, and then this should be the product ID, and the value should be quantity, and only those we should print. Run start.
No.
Yeah, so you have to close the backend because it was running, and then it's complaining that it's having the same port.
5. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then
okay, let's
then
try. Okay, so Flask LGS.
Running on 3000, and then there is a proxy in between 5. But like if you open the page in the browser, that's yeah. So here is the React app, and then when you click the post order, you can see that it is hitting your Flask endpoint, and you can validate this in network.
Okay, it's good. Okay, so I could see print data. Oh, good, I understood. Well, to send it by a request to external. Okay, we don't do this because we don't have that API, correct?
Yes. So we want to print a dictionary. We want to build and then to print a dictionary where the will be the product ID and the value will be quantity.
ID and quantity.
Yes.
So just ID and quantity inside the dictionary one.
Yes.
So it's so you mean like this, yes or not?
Dictionary where ID is the key and the quantity is the value.
Okay.
Not ID and quantity.
Yeah.
And then one dictionary for all the items in the cart.
Okay, like one dictionary for all items, ID, key.
No, so the ID value should be the key. Like the key should be 23 and the value should be 1.
Understood. Like this, you mean this? Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, as you can see in this card, you have 2 lines. So like there is also 36 and 0.
Okay, let's just use the simplest way. It's cycle. And I don't know how to call it. I have no idea, so maybe
order.
Yeah, order. And okay.
So I'm not sure if it is having auto restart.
Okay.
Maybe to restart, not the page but the backend.
Like restart the backend right here, or
You can just restart it here, yeah. Like
here, like npm.
Yep.
Yeah, we have it. So let's more simpler way.
Remember, we want to print it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to check.
So like let's pretend that this was now creating it because we have implemented it. Yeah, like to run the front end and back end first. Run npm start. Let's see it in package.json. What options are?
Okay, it's working correct, I think.
So let's pretend that this was posting. So we want to return a JSON, not with error, but with ID of this order, and ID should be like maybe object with field ID 42.
Yeah. Maybe we could use IUID or hex UID.
Let's just return 42 as a number.
42?
Yes. A fixed number.
Okay. 42 is this, yes?
Yes.
40. Return RD 42. We will have like, and it will be ID and sorry for the structure, but I will use like this result like this, and I think no need to error code because it's work. So message will be order. Yeah.
Okay. So now it will be good to show the confirmation message, like thank you, your order to on the front end when you click the button.
So moving. Okay. We're getting then data, console like data not implemented.
So our API was returning error not implemented, and then we are just updating the state to state this error, and then when we set the error, the error message will appear. And now instead of showing this card and a button, it would be nice to show like just a message centered on the screen. Thank you, your order number is whatever we get.
Okay, so, well, I'm not very good to use the error logic to try to duplicate it. So sorry, not very good, but
No,
yeah.
this is great. Like this is why we are providing this for reference.
Set error. It's not a function. It's like.
So the useState will return array with two elements. The first one will be whatever the state is, and the second is a function to update the state. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And anyway, the magical one, all until you use the second value, the UI will be reactive.
So set. We need to set. State on or set prompts?
You can name it anyway. Like you are adding a name here, so you can name it whatever.
Okay, set. And use state initial card, and we need to use state of our message.
Yeah, so you need to say that initially onto the message.
Initially.
And then like you can say that there are no message, just like there was no error.
So like no message, you mean like default key, like your initial card?
You can see how it is done for the error. Like because there is no error, so you can just provide false.
So yeah, let's just if I think. Okay, let's note and just stupid duplication and set message.
Like remember what you were like. We want to print a message with the old number, and then remember what you were sending from the backend.
Yes. So I think I will do that logic right here. Yeah. On if, but for sure I not implemented. Looks like
so it is still it is error.
Restart.
Maybe you have to restart. Yeah.
Oh, good. Order created. Okay. Well, let's change the backend name, but I think not very correct. So let's just that message.
Yeah, you can change the thing.
And we need. Okay, so order was
and then just the number. That's fine.
Like this. GS.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, so this one is having hot reload, so you don't have to restart. So click the button.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, so it's not the most. Well, how about we hide the button when there is this message?
Hide the button?
Yeah, so not show the list or the button.
On jQuery, it's just using the class of that button. On React.js, I remember how to do this on Angular, like ng show, but on React.js need to Google.
Yeah, so like let just for the entertainment. So the message is here a regular variable, so you can do a if around the message, you return different content. So for example, if message is false, you can return the list, and if message is not false, you can just return your message.
Like this.
Yeah, but like you can go even step above, like this return you can adjust.
Like,
yeah.
It will work?
Yeah, this should be okay.
Okay.
You can see it.
Oh, I'm a god of React.js.
Okay, cool. So, thanks for completing this. It was great. Hope that it was like at least a bit fun. Like I think that you refreshed a few things about React. As I promised, some time for Q&A. Do you have any extra questions about the company, the service, customers? But like the team, like something that might be interesting to you.
Yes, about the team. Maybe I didn't listen properly, but what is will be current team like when you approve me? Yeah, if you approve me.
Yeah, so the checkout and payments team is having 2 developers and 1 product owner. It is one of 5 teams in global, the smallest at the moment. Like if you will join the team, like you will become part of this team. The team is having like a weekly routine, working in Scrum-based agile, but like with a not. Yeah, like it's quite flexible interpretation of the agile, but like the team is having weekly iterations. There is a product owner, there is a backlog, there are issues or feature lists that either other teams in the company would like the team to do or customers are asking. There is a regular set of like estimation, the effort, doing the prioritization and so on. Team is having regular daily meetings to sync up the work, to plan the work for a day, and both developers are very autonomous in doing this work. So your role will be to like learn a bit on the code base. We have like a proven onboarding procedure that takes about 1 month of like training and familiarizing yourself with the code base, and then to join, participate in all the discussion, help the team solve the issues more efficiently, do the development, do the testing, like release your features to be available to customers, and so on.
Okay, another question about the CI more thing, like what are you using, like maybe GitLab CI, or not GitLab CI, Jenkins?
Yeah, so we have internal GitLab server, and then we use GitLab CI for managing the pipeline. We have a few, but like really a few services that are still using Jenkins, but like we are either migrating them or about to migrate them to GitLab CI.
And the question about PEP8, yes. Do you have linting hooks on the commits, like when you can, I don't know, maybe you can make a commit when your code not is PEP8 validated?
So Maciej, maybe you can take this one.
Yeah, so we have in few repositories we have checks for PEP8, but I think in some newer repositories we actually abandoned this practice, which is kind of bad. So we had a pilot in one of our projects, end-to-end regression test started by our former QA, that we wanted to use black formatter for Python and not allow on any code which is which black formatter rejects to basically pass the pipeline, but like it didn't gain the traction inside the team. And like I was a huge proponent of it, but like.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is. So it is not a pre-commit hook, but it is a part of the pipeline.
Yeah, I mean part of the pipeline.
tests.
Yeah.
So like for most of our repositories, we have PEP8 checks with customized configs, basically. So like 79 characters of line length, and like some of the PEP are disabled for our comfort, basically. But,
Okay. So I have no questions.
Okay. So I have a few more. What is generally your availability? Like, do you have some notice period on your current position, or you are like ready to start immediately?
I have notice period right now, so I'm not working, but I had a good contract, so I have time to search work, but no restrictions. I could start tomorrow.
Okay, great. And in this point of your career, like, what are some of the things that you are mostly looking for? A position where you can expand your skills, or like a position where you can get some deeper, like compared to this machine learning, data process? What is something that you are looking for next?
Well, for now my project was closed, so first of all I looking for Python position. It's honestly like for the first time. It's priority. But if you're talking about secondary things, yes, I'm more interested to more deeply work with things like for example, pyramid. Yeah, it's framework I worked not a lot of time, so maybe more work with RabbitMQ, because I worked a lot with AWS SQS and RabbitMQ. Yeah, I know like how consumer message flow is working, but need to more practice. Maybe you will have more deeper things. So yes, expanding skills it's one of priorities. So when I'm checking and looking for projects.
Yeah, so like in the company we have this saying that like if you want to learn something new, you should join the checkout and payments team, because like there is always something new in this team. So like for example, the team is currently doing some deployment with Amplify. Like previously it was doing Cloudflare Workers, and then like there is a lot of React frontend and then Python and RabbitMQ, and I cannot even name a few things, but so like for other developers in the company, like it's Matej, also you were working with BigQuery, doing the data, and like InfluxDB. Can we name a technology the team was not working with?
Yeah, creating some monitoring in the Influx was quite fun.
Yeah, like new things not a problem, because you see my CV, like a lot of technologies, so I'm not sitting on Django and not creating migrations on my Django RAM and having fun. So yeah, so I think we have 2 minutes, and I need to go because to you. Thank you. It was a very fun task. Not very stressful, not very difficult, but it was fun. So
okay, so we will share our feedback internally, and we will get back to Angelina probably tomorrow the latest. So you will get some update, and we will see from there.
Okay, bye.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.